Good afternoon.
I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Correct. Yes, thank you.
So, how was your experience here in Varanasi and School of Management Sciences in this conference?
It was wonderful because I've been relating with spiritual concepts since I was very early age. I mean, I was 10 when I started reading. And I've been reading Osho and Buddha and lots of other, spiritual leaders. And I wanted to come to India for a long time. But now I'm here in Varanasi, which is the center of the spiritual world. So, and I found out about that. And the school and the conference is very nice, and the organization is very good. It's excellent actually, because the timings and the presenters and the speakers, and of course the topics are very interesting to me. So I found it wonderful to be here.
That's very good. And I think you must easily qualify as the youngest spiritual person in the world when you started it at 10.
I don't know.
Okay, what does spirituality mean to you? How would you define it?
For me, spirituality is beyond religion. I think it covers and encompasses all religions around the world. I think spirituality is a way of being. It's a way of being and encompassing all before birth, after that. So spirituality is composed of all life, all our lives, and ourselves as spiritual beings, and to be as one. And that's why I'm here, actually. I believe in oneness, so spirituality encompasses also oneness idea. And spirituality is a way of life, and I believe it has to be applied, it needs to be applied, looking at the current situation today in the world. It needs to be more in the front. It looks like current religion systems and rituals couldn't really come to that place. People couldn't understand it. Maybe spirituality has that opportunity to move people beyond just rituals and beliefs to living in harmony, living healthily, living as one, first inside and then with the other people, living in peace. Because right now people are practicing religion all over the world, Jewish, Muslim, I am a Muslim myself, Christians, many different types of worshipping is available, but it didn't really prevent people from seeing the world and the people in a different way. Right now it's all crisis. People forgot who they are, and I think spirituality is an opportunity for us. It will bring all religions together, and it's gonna move us beyond all the rituals and all the musts and must-dos to really come to who we are and to see who we are, accept ourselves, and then move to understand each other from there.
So the particular religion that you're from, Muslim, so was there any conflict in practicing spiritualism and the Muslim way of religion? Because for obvious reasons. So had there been any problems practicing it?
No. Actually, they are, if you see it from a spiritual place, you can even see your practice differently. I practice from time to time. I'm not a very frequent worshipper or practice, but I do practice. I do things related to Islam, rituals. And when I see it from the spiritual point of view, when I see it from spirituality, they all have a different meaning. They all acquire different meanings. So I see it as a scientific person. I even see those kinds of daily, prayers, wishes, people's understandings of Islam differently compared to maybe people on the street who just believe and do, but they are not internalizing. Because I know in Quran there are things that do match one-on-one with what spirituality is saying. There is life after that, that we are all one, that we should share with each other, that we should share resources, we shouldn't harm anybody. So these are main principles, main values in Islam. And in spirituality it's the same thing, living as one, the universe and the science, they all say the same thing. But the problem is the society, the masses, sees in such a dogmatic way that they only minimize it and reduce it to rituals only, without internalizing the values. I think it's time to internalize values, and it's not restricted to Islam. It's in Christianity, Buddhism, many other religions, and we should really come together, all religions, and find our common code of ethics. Because I think it's an ethics problem. It's a morality problem mostly.
Because basically there is no difference in any religion and in the preachings and everything. And Islam more so, I think Islam is more spiritual than comparative. Like you cannot compare religion, but still, because there is nothing between you and your God.
Right.
There is no there is no individual. There is nobody between the God and you.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
You're one-on-one.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That's true. That's true. And Islam is the ultimate religion. It's very comprehensive. It gives people how to live in certain days, for example, how to how to fast. All these things go into yourself as a spiritual person. You are not just body. When you fast, you see that, because you still live when you don't eat. There are people around the world who eat. They are obese people, for example. They eat and eat and eat, and they think that life is nothing without eating, for example. But if you look at it from a spiritual place, eating, having entertainments and things like that are okay, but they are not limited. We are not limited to those kinds of things. We are more beyond that. So yes, Islam, if you really understand and go into it, there are so many common things. But the problem is, in Turkey, as well as in many Islamic world, it is all rituals. It is all dogmatic belief system. It is always, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, and the fear of God. The most important is the fear of God. And people take Quran as we should fear because God would punish us. There is nobody punishing us. We only punish ourselves. And we have to know this. And that's where spirituality comes in. That's where spirituality gives us this wonderful connection with God, and that we are beyond this body. That we are beyond all that is going on now, because we are beyond the present. We are the future, we are the past, we are what has happened and what's going to happen. We are all existing here together. So I think as I said, the religious perspective needs to combine with the spiritual perspective, which combines it all. Without spirituality, religion is becoming very, to me, my perspective is very dogmatic and ritualistic without any solid base. Although it does have solid base, people just get it because of their upbringing, they just see it that way, and we need to change that. It's not being without religion. Everybody will have the religion, but spirituality will add a wonderful dimension to the religious part.
Yes, for you I can say like spiritualism and religion is like soul and body.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
You don't separate the two.
No, I don't separate the two. I don't. It's a way of life. I mean, but you may not be religious, but you can be spiritual. You can believe, you can belong to a religion, and in the Allah, God, universe, whatever you name it, but you might just be personally believing in your own way. So it could be Islam, it could be Christianity. I don't mind, because it doesn't matter. Because the universe, this big force, this God, you call it, it has all of it. And that's why maybe there are different religions, because there are different types of people. And because there are different types of people, there are different kinds of understandings. That's why maybe there were different but spirituality unites them, as I see it. Because I don't see spirituality as very different according to culture, because it has very unique certain principles, not ritualistic, but if you go deeply into spirituality, you will live a very good life, a very compact and whole, from your eating practices, from your sleeping practices, from your relationships, from your career, work, rituals, everything. If you go into spiritual realm, there are certain ways to live, And again, it includes those religious type of things, religious type of concepts.
So, but like, if I can say, like, religion divides and spiritualism unites. Religion divides people,
yes,
and spiritualism unites.
I believe that too. Yes, I'm not saying religion is bad, but it's a way of division. Yes.
So, don't you think, like, when spirituality becomes a spiritualism,
yes,
then it becomes another religion and stands in competition to other religions and
yes,
becomes just like
yes,
something else.
That's why today it's a critical period. If we are all spirituals here and we are in a spiritual conference, which is very new for the world now. It's not like the hundreds of times that we did this. We are doing these things new. Just started. So if we started as a way of uniting all, not separating, and if we just don't force people to do things, and we can show them alternatives to lots of things. We can say, okay, if you can't meditate, do this. Or if you can't do this, you can do the alternative. If we show people alternatives but still remain spiritual, then spirituality will not become a rival. It will not become a rival. It will be actually, it will add to religion. It will add to it. It will not cancel it. But it will add to it, and some people might even choose to be spiritual, just spiritual, just
supplementary to religion.
Some people might do that. It's no problem. It's no problem as long as they don't see it as a fearful God. They don't see somebody, an entity which we should fear, because I think a part of it is inside. I believe that too, because Rumi, Yunus Emre, those are from Turkey. Rumi is originally Persian, but he lived in Turkey. And Yunus Emre is also, and they say that we need to know who we are. And when we go deeply with him, we find that there is something from there that we have.
Can you tell us something from Rumi? Something from Rumi?
Something from Rumi,
very poetic.
Okay. Come whoever you are. That is the most famous. Yeah. Come whoever you are. Come wherever you are. Come whoever you are. That's by Rumi. And by Yunus Emre, he is not that famous, but he is also Sufi. And Yunus Emre, he has this. Know yourself. And if you don't know yourself, thyself, why do you read so much? What are you reading? And another thing is, let's love.
It's very poetic words. So
yes.
Can you say that for us?
Yes. Let's love and let's.
In Persian or
in Persian? No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But in Turkish, I can say in Turkish if you want. Sevelim, sevilelim, dünya kimseye kalmaz. Which means, let's love and be loved. The world doesn't belong to any one of us. So just love and be loved. That's the whole point.
So that is your message.
That's my message. Let's love and be loved. And if there is a dogma in spirituality, that's my dogma. Let's love and be loved.
So wait,
yes, that's the only one that we must really do. I mean, if we don't do prayers, if we don't do meditation, if we don't do fasting, let's do this. This is the essence of all religions, of all spirituality. I think this is it. This is the core that we need to really do in this world, to heal and to grow.
So your organization and School of Management Sciences, do you think they can go together in this path of building something for the world?
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. I think this school, of course, there are no coincidences in life. Gautam Buddha had his teaching practice here, as I found out, under the tree in this yes, and I read it today, and it was his teaching phase. In the beginning he didn't want to teach, but when he came here there were some followers. 5 people started to follow him today here in this place, and today we have this school in Varanasi. And there is no coincidence. Beautiful. What else we can say? Creating more Buddhas, hopefully. for the future. And I think business world needs to really combine with spiritual practices. As we are discussing the whole conference, combining these spiritual issues with the business issues, the workplace issues. I'm discussing citizenship and wellness behaviors myself. So we need to really bring these things into practice. And in the business world, not many people understand about spirituality. So we need to bring those concepts and practices and certain things that they can understand in a way that they can.
Psychology.
Yes. Yes.
So I think you can find a better way to implement these things, because you understand people's psychology, so what makes them learn these things or may adopt these things or may accept these things
yes.
without any kind of inhibition.
Right. Yes, that's my maybe advantage, because I know how people can change behaviors and I know how people can't change. What I know is that if you show people really truly very solid examples, specific examples of behaviors, and if you really give them guidelines about how to solve certain things, and if you give them alternatives, and if you accept them at the same time, their mistakes, their faults, and they might just, might do things differently.
It's all right to fail.
Yes, they have right to fail. But as long as you give people those behavioral guidelines, they do it at the end of the day. And especially if you show it when they are having the problem, that's the best way to sell it. So, I mean, yes, being a psychologist adds too much to what I believe and what I really apply. But at the same time, these disciplines need to be interdisciplinary. Like, we need to combine management, psychology, sociology, politics, economics, all together to really come up.
The process of designing a kind of curriculum, if I may say so,
perfect,
would be maybe slightly different than the regular curriculum in different courses are.
Yes.
By the very nature of spiritualism.
Right. By the very nature of spiritualism, yes, we need to develop new curriculum models, and we have the school. Thank God, we have the school. We may not have it. I mean, in Turkey we don't have this kind of school, so it's very hard to change the curriculum. You need to get permits all from there, but India is spiritual by itself. So your advantage is to have a history of such a spiritual, past, but we are not that lucky in Turkey, for example. So this has to be a global place.
So this is your Turkey, this is your
Thank you. Because we need that in the world.
Yeah.
Not every country is very open to these kinds of practices and these types of curriculum models. Sometimes there's dogma in science too. I have my professors, I won't mention names, but when I showed them I am going to this conference, they said, spiritual? This is not scientific. This is the problem. We reject something that we don't measure. If you don't know how to measure, why are you rejecting it? Learn how to measure it. Learn how to define it. Why are you rejecting it? But they are rejecting it. And in Turkey, it's the situation right now. Not many people are understanding and accepting of the word, even the word spiritual. And then they solve the word global crisis, and I say, okay. Global crisis. They understand that part.
They understand the negative part, they don't understand the positive part.
Right. Perfect. Yes, exactly. Yes.
So that is the conditioning. Unfortunately, that is the conditioning.
Yes. Yes. There is a unfortunate conditioning, and spiritual always reminds them of religious. And yes, some of the journals in psychology, some of the articles you can see it says spiritual, but it talks about religious morals. For example, they do it with a Jewish community, or they do it with a Christian or Muslim community. But for me, it's different. It's not religious. It's not Jewish, or it's not, Muslim. It's not Christian. Spiritual is something on its own, and it includes all of them. But in science, still they study it as a religious study, and I'm not part of it because I'm not a theologist. I'm a spiritual psychologist. So for me, it's different. And right now, I think there is a conflict in the research about that. But it's a good thing that now APA, American Psychological Association, has a new journal now named Psychology of Religion and Spirituality.
Okay, it's got different identity now, separate identity.
Yes.
Independent.
Yes. At least, next to religion, but still separate religion and spirituality. So that's good.
But you said that religion also has all the ingredients of spirituality. You can't be religious if you are not spiritual, is it?
Right. I don't know. I mean, if for example, if you are an atheist, okay, there are people who are atheists, and I know they are atheists because they don't want to practice the religion, okay? Actually, they are deists. They don't want religion, but they call themselves atheists. But in fact, they love spirituality. I know people like that. For example, Czech Republic, most of the people are single in Prague, for example, and 90% of those people are said to be atheists. There are many atheists. Nobody knows why. There needs to be a research why Czech Republic has more atheists. But there are people, for example, in my organization, Humanities Team, there are my friends who are inside the organization. They are atheists, but they are spiritual. So, how to draw the line? There is no line, but you can choose. You have a power to choose. You are the free soul.
Should be respected.
Yes. I mean, okay, you were born to a Muslim family. You were born to a Christian. But when you bring spirituality into the picture, then you have the freedom to choose how to do things. You can still practice Muslim, but you can in general be spiritual most of the time. So your question, will it replace the religions? I don't think so, because in the world there is strong religion orientation, and it's going to continue. But spirituality has to be as strong as religion too. That's what I believe. And bring this alternative, bring this alternative way of thinking, not alternative to Muslim or Christian. I don't think it's in competition, but it has to bring this alternative lifestyle. It has to bring people to a place where they think, when I step into your shoes, it hurts you. Right now people don't realize that it hurts you, because they don't have the sense of the other. They only think me. But there's not only me, there's also you.
Okay. So, spiritualism and religion, they can coexist without competing with each other?
No, they don't need to compete. They don't need to compete. But the thing is, we shouldn't see spirituality as dogma. It's not a dogma. It's an offer. It's a recommendation to have a lifestyle, which is, for my understanding, which transcends all the physical beingness. It transcends all the ego issues. It transcends everything, goes beyond that all.
Okay. Now coming to the other part that your friend understood better, the crisis one. So do you think spirituality can solve the problem, the crisis?
Yes.
So, or is it too utopic expectation from this?
Yes. Okay, I can't say it will solve today, but I can say how it can solve. Because spirituality has a way to solve it. If you really practice spirituality, you wouldn't have the crisis today in the world. If you really looked at life, looked at people, looked at yourself, looked at your own emotions, your own thoughts, everything in a spiritual way, you wouldn't have the crisis in the world. But for crisis not to happen, an enough majority needs to be spiritual oriented. We need that critical mass that would think and believe and feel and act this similar ways.
It's a long way to go till we reach that critical mass.
I don't know. It might be short or it might be long. If we really do what we need to do as spiritual leaders, we see ourselves as that actually. Maybe if we do things that really show people the alternatives and really help people with their inner problems so that they can get out of themselves. Okay? Right now people are stuck with themselves. They are stuck inside. They can't move. They can't move to the other. So they are stuck with these addictions. Money addiction, alcohol addiction, eating addiction, profit addiction. These are addictions. And these are illusions. They think that they will be happy when they have that much money. They think they will be happy when they get that result. But they see that it's not the case. Because the happiness is not dependent on...
It's a mirage kind of thing.
Right. Exactly. So we need to show that happiness is here and now. If you really acquire happiness here and now, and if you know how to manage your ego, I'm not saying you should really cancel the ego. I'm not saying that you should kill it and just be this, spiritual person meditating. I'm not saying that. But if you manage your ego, if you can step back when it needs to, if you can move forward when it needs to, it's being flexible and mature at the same time. If you are mature and flexible for life, then you're going to get the inner peace. And when you get the inner peace, then you're going to be looking at other people differently. Because it's all about you. If you can't solve inner peace, you can't see the other. It's impossible because you're too busy with yourself.
So thank you, Dr. Duysal.
Thank you very much for the lovely
Yes.
discussion. Thank you.